Hola, ¿qué tal amigos? Buenos días, buenas tardes y buenas noches. No importa la hora que sea, siempre es un gran momento para aprender español con Profesor Pablo. Welcome back to today's exciting lesson. I'm so glad you're here. Creating sentences number 1. There will be many in this series as we go through all of our lessons. The purpose of creating sentences is to put sentences down in English and see if you can translate them to Spanish with the knowledge that we've already imparted, that you have learned. The vocabulary, the verbs, the verb tenses, the verb structures, etc. Plus, we've talked about the verb numbering system. We talked about verb numerology. Just like all cars and vehicles, they have a license plate. Well, a sentence has a license plate in the Profesor Pablo language learning systems. A license plate identifies the verb number of all the verbs that are used within the sentence. And as we move on with our Spanish and we get on to the subjunctive, the 8s and the 9s and so on, we're going to talk about a verb system to identify the sophistication of your sentence. And the way we do that is we take the verbs in a given sentence, we take their numerical value and we divide by how many verbs there are, and that will give you a verb quotient. And we'll show you what is basic, what is intermediate, and what is advanced. So we have a verb quotient coming up as well. Now, to be honest with you, most of the time, just like right now, I'm talking in the present tense. I'm talking about what we do, what we're doing, what we always do. And the present tense drives communication in all languages. However, you know, we leave the present tense and we go into the past tense, so we use preterite or imperfect. Then we can go into the future for will and the conditional for would. And of course, we use the ing and the ed forms all the time as well, plus the infinitive. But I just want you to get familiar with this concept of license plate. We're going to introduce it today, and you'll see how it works. Okay, we must remember our verb numbering system. 0 is infinitive. 1 is the ing, the ando, yendo. 2 is the ed, the past participle, the ado, ido. 3 is the present. 4 is the preterite. 5 is the imperfect. 6 is the future. 7 is the conditional. 8, the present subjunctive, which we haven't studied yet. And 9 is the past subjunctive. Okay, let's see what we have. I want to go to the game with you guys, but I don't know if I can because I think I have to work. I kind of stretched the sentence out. A long sentence, all a long sentence is just a bunch of little phrases put together with linking words, right? The big words in a sentence are the verbs. The linking words, the transition words are huge as well because they bring it all together. And all the other words that filter and sprinkle in are just nouns and adjectives and things of that nature. So let's see what we have. I want to go to the game with you, guys, that's plural, but I don't know if I can because I think I have to work. Let's look at our verbs. I want, that's the verb querer in the present tense. There's your 3. I want to go is the infinitive, that's a 0, there's your 0. I want to go to the game. Okay, game we know is el partido. You can also say el juego, but we're choosing el partido. And remember, there are 5 ways of saying to the. There's a, al, ala, alos, and alas. All of this we've studied. With you guys, how do you say you when it's familiar? It's tú. How do you say you when it's a person you're on a last name basis with? It's usted. And how do you say you for you guys? Are you plural? Ustedes. So we know ustedes. Here's a transition, a linking word. Pero. P-E-R-O. Pero. I think, okay, there are 2 verbs to think. There's creer, C-R-E-E-R, and there's pensar, P-E-N-S-A-R. Creer in the present tense is totally regular. Pensar in the present tense is an E to I-E stem changer. What do we know about the I-E stem changers in the present tense? All but nosotros. They change in all but nosotros. A, B, N. But I think I have to work. We just had a lesson a few back on to have to do something. Well, I have, that's the verb tener. That's the present tense right here. And to work is infinitive. So you're going to see we've got 2 infinitives and we have 4 verbs in the present tense. This is just present tense. But if you can create a sentence like this on your own, oh my gosh, that is absolutely marvelous. You can do almost everything with the present tense and the era plus infinitive and the present progressive. You can just do almost anything. So here we go. I want, okay, I want. Think back, I want. Querer. You got it? That's right, quiero, Q-U-I-E-R-O. Quiero, to go we know is ir. Quiero ir to the game. Well, it's el partido, but we need to get a and el. What do you do when you have a plus l? You have to contract it. El partido is masculine. You take the a plus l and we come up with al. There are only two contractions in Spanish. There's al and del, like del taco here in America, or al partido. Okay, you see how we're reviewing everything we've done? Quiero ir al partido with is con, like chili con carne, right? Means chili with meat, chili con carne. Quiero ir al partido con. You guys is ustedes. Quiero ir al partido con ustedes. There's a sentence right there. I want to go to the game with you guys. Quiero ir al partido con ustedes. Pero, I don't know. Now, what's the verb to know? There are two verbs to know. There's saber, to know a fact, to know something, and there's conocer, to know a person. Well, we want the verb saber. I don't know. Present tense. It's irregular. It's say with an accent mark. Say. Quiero ir al partido con ustedes, pero no sé, I don't know if. How do you say if? Yes is sí with an accent. That's right. If is sí with no accent. Quiero ir al partido con ustedes, pero no sé si if I can. I can. That verb is poder. Oh, that in the present tense, that's a UE stem changer. It changes in all but nosotros, right? So poder would be puedo. Puedo. Pero no sé si puedo. I don't know if I can. No sé si puedo. Now, how do you say because? It's one word. Porque. Porque. No accent. P-O-R-Q-U-E. Porque. Quiero ir al partido con ustedes, pero no sé si puedo porque, here you go, I think. I think. Well, it could be creer or pensar. You could say, if it's creer, it's going to be, that's right, creo, C-R-E-O, creo. And if it's pensar, it's pienso, P-I-E-N-S-O. Now, notice that we don't have the word that after this, because I think I have to work. You could insert because I think that I have to work. But many times in English, we'll just say, I think I have to work. Some people might say, I think that I have to work. In Spanish, creer and pensar. What you think, you're going to follow with the word que. Okay, even though it's not here in translation. So it's creer que, to think that, or pensar que, right? So we're going to put a que in. Let's go again. Quiero ir al partido con ustedes, pero no sé si puedo porque pienso que or creo que I have. Present tense of tener, it's a go verb. Tengo. How do you do tener what plus infinitive? It's tener que plus infinitive. So this would be tengo que trabajar. The que in Spanish is absolute. It has to be there. In English, it doesn't translate. But in Spanish, it's tener que plus trabajar. What I'm telling you is, if you have tener followed by an infinitive in Spanish, you have to have a que in between them. Okay? It has to be there. So there we go. Quiero ir al partido con ustedes, pero no sé si puedo porque creo que or pienso que tengo que trabajar. You can do that. Quiero ir al partido con ustedes, pero no sé si puedo porque creo que tengo que trabajar. And there's your license plate. Instead of me writing down present, infinitive, present, 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 and infinitive, we're going to use our numeric clues for a shortcut. All right, let's go to our second one. We would go to the concert, but it's raining. We would go to the concert, but it is raining. Well, we know the verb to go is ir. That's one of our big boy verbs, right? One of the top 10 in Spanish. Ir. To the concert. Here we go again. We had this already. To the. Remember, to the is either a, al, ala, alos, or alas, depending on the word. And then we have but. Here's but again. It is. It is. Well, that's the verb estar, and that's in the present tense, right? Estar. And then raining is ing. What's the ing in Spanish? It's the one. It's the ando y yendo. So we're going to have a, right here, we're going to have a conditional, which is number 7 in our verb numerology. And then we're going to have it is would be a present tense, and one would be the ing. Let's give it a shot. We would go, okay, how do you do the conditional? You take the verb ir, ir, and you put íamos, I-A-M-O-S, with an accent on the I at the end. Iríamos, now this is easy, al concierto, iríamos al concierto, but, pero, it is, estoy, estás, está, and raining, lloviendo. See how easy that is. Look at everything you can say. This is amazing. Iríamos al partido, pero está lloviendo. Excuse me, iríamos al concierto, pero está lloviendo. Iríamos al concierto, pero está lloviendo. Okay? Your license plate is a 731. 7 for the conditional, 3 for the present of it is, and 1 for the raining, ing. All right, I don't know her, but I know that she comes here every day. I don't know her, but I know that she comes here every day. Let's say it's a restaurant or a cafe or a park. You say, I don't know her, but she comes here every day. I don't know her, but I know that she comes here every day. The present tense has so many stem changing and go verbs and ZC verbs and accented I, accented U, right? G to J, all that kind of stuff. It is really powerful to know the present tense because, as we know, that's where we get all our commands, and that's where we get the present subjunctive as well. So let's take a look. I don't know her. Conocer, conocer, I don't know her would be no conozco. That's a ZC verb. No conozco. So no conozco would be no la conozco. You put the la in front for her. No la conozco. Some people in different parts of the Spanish-speaking world may say le. That's okay. But in standard Latin American Spanish, it's no la conozco. Now going backwards, I don't know her. This is the verb conocer. And this one, but I know that. This is going to be conocer, and this will be saber. Okay, I don't know her. No la conozco, pero. You see how often we use that linking word pero? No la conozco, pero I know that would be sé que. Accent on the E. No la conozco, pero sé que. Could you say yo sé que? Of course. No la conozco, or yo no la conozco, pero yo sé que she comes. The venir. What do we know about venir? Oh, in the present tense, it's a go verb, vengo, and then it's got the E to IE stem change, right? Vienes, viene, venimos, and vienen. It's got a lot going on with it. But the she form would be viene, kind of like Vienna, Austria, right? Viene, V-I-E-N-E, only one N, viene. No la conozco, pero sé que viene aquí. Aquí has an accent on the I, A-Q-U-I accent. Viene aquí every day. Todos los días, 3 words. Días has an accent on the I. Our verb numbers here would be 3, 3, and 3. Again, I don't know her. No la conozco, pero sé que viene, or ella viene aquí todos los días. Again, the first verb no here is conocer, and the second verb no is saber. All right, let's go up top here. You're not going to believe it, but I found what I was looking for. First of all, I want to introduce what. We know that what in a question like, ¿Qué pasó? What happened? ¿Qué dijo? What did he say? Well, we know que is an interrogative word, Q-U-E, and there's an accent mark on it because it's a question word. But if you want to say what when it's not a question, it is lo que. Isn't that cool? Lo que. So we're going to be using lo que here for what. You're not going to believe it. There's the verb ir again, to go. Believe is creer. Pensar is to think or creer. Pensar and creer can both mean to think that. Creer que or pensar que, right? But believe is not pensar. It's going to be creer. C-R-E-E-R. Creer que. Okay? Believe it. To believe, well, that's going to be the infinitive, creer. But I found what I was looking for. I found. That's not present tense. That's not future. That's in the past, isn't it? And it's a one-time thing. It's not something that was happening or you were doing all the time, finding things in the past. No, I found one time, preterite. I found. The verb is encontrar, encontrar, encontrar. What we know is loque. To look for is buscar, buscar. Now what we're going to use is, we're going to use the imperfect of estar, and then we're going to use the ing of buscar, the ando yendo. So let's take a look. You're not going to believe it. No lo vas a creer. The no, the it comes right after the no. No lo vas a creer. No lo vas a creer. No lo vas a creer. Pero, again, but, pero, I found, encontrar, AR verb, regular AR verb, that would be encontré. No lo vas a creer, pero encontré what I was looking for. Encontré lo que I was looking for. We're going to go with the imperfect 5 of estar, estaba, and then the ing, buscando. No lo vas a creer, pero encontré lo que estaba buscando. You could say buscaba, much more common to say here, lo que estaba buscando. No lo vas a creer, pero encontré lo que estaba buscando. In our verb license plate, it's a 3 for the going, the vas. Creer is a 0. I found, encontré is the preterite 4. 5 is estaba, I was, and then looking would be the 1, buscando, looking for. These books aren't mine. License plate 3, present tense, right? Anything with a 3 should be a piece of cake. As long as you know your irregulars, right? As long as you know your stem changing. As long as you know the go verbs, right? As long as you know the G to J, all that stuff, the accented I, the accented U. These books, now this would be este libro. These would be estos libros. Those books would be esos libros. We know that this is either este or esta, depending on the gender of the word that follows. These would be estos or estas. So we would say, estos libros are not. That's present tense of the verb ser. Ser. Soy, eres, es, somos, son. There it is, son. Estos libros no son, how do you say mine? Okay, well, it's either going to be mío, mía, míos, or mías. The one that you select from the 4 must agree back with libros. So it's got to be masculine and it's got to be plural. Estos libros no son míos. Estos libros no son míos. There's your 3. Mom likes the flowers. Well, license plate 3, just present tense, likes. The verb gustar is the most butchered verb in the Spanish language. Sorry to use such a harsh term. It's the most improperly used verb in the Spanish language. Mom likes the flowers. Well, we know mama is mama. We know gustar is the verb to like. And we know flowers are las flores, L-A-S, las flores. But how do you say mom likes? Remember, gustar is different from all other verbs. Literally what we're going to say is the flowers, they are pleasing to mom. So this is how it goes. When you have a gustar type sentence and you say who does the liking, it's an a phrase in front. Here it would be a mama. Now we need the pronoun, the me, te, le, nos, or les that goes with mama. A mama me, no. A mama te, no. A mama le. That matches up. A mama le. Now, the verb gustar doesn't agree with mom like all the other verbs in the Spanish language, like I go, yo voy, you study, tú estudias. No. The verb gustar, and the reasons it's always messed up is because people have to realize that gustar agrees with what's being liked, not who does the liking. And we're going to practice gustar again, but here we go. A mama le, I want to say the flowers, they like mom, basically. A mama le, well, what are the endings for gustar in the present tense? Well, it's either going to be a or on, because we know with gustar we're going to use the el-ella form or the ellos-ellas form, essentially, and that's it. We're not going to say gusto and gustas. We're not going to say gustamos. It's either going to be gusta or gustan. If what's being liked is singular, it's going to be gusta, or an infinitive. If what is being liked is plural, it's going to be gustan with the N factor, our buddy. So we're going to go with gustan. A mamá le gustan las flores. As we do our creating sentences, I'll make a point to include gustar on many of the future big boards that we have to drill the point home. Mom likes the flowers. A mamá le gustan las flores. And when you can, that's another indicator. If you can use the verb gustar correctly, then the person to whom you're speaking is going to think, without even thinking, automatically is going to say, yeah, this person's got it. This person speaks really good Spanish, because gustar is where a lot of people fall and tumble. They just have a problem with it. But we've got to remember that the verb agrees with what is liked, not the person doing the liking. And it starts off with an a phrase. Whoever does the liking, it's an a phrase. If I want to say the teacher likes the flowers, it'd be al maestro le gustan las flores, or a la maestra le gustan las flores. If I want to say kids like ice cream, a los niños les gusta el helado. Well, niños is plural and you think gusta is not. How can that be? Because gusta doesn't agree with niños. It agrees with what is being liked, helado. A los niños les gusta el helado. All right, let's go to our last one. And our license plate again was 3, present tense. I didn't go to work because I was sick. Gosh, I didn't go to work. Well, I didn't go, that's preterite. Let's see, the verb ir in the preterite. That's one of the irregular ones, right? Fui, F-U-I, fui. So we need right here for preterite, it'd be no fui to work. Trabajo ends in O, so it's going to be another masculine one. Al trabajo. No fui al trabajo porque I was sick. That's going to be imperfect. A 5 right here. Estaba enfermo. Now you ladies would say, no fui al trabajo porque estaba enferma. No fui al trabajo porque estaba enferma. Let the numbers work for you. The license plates, the verb numbering system is now coming into focus. Let's review. I want to go to the game with you guys, but I don't know if I can because I think I have to work. Quiero ir al partido con ustedes, pero no sé si puedo porque either creo que or pienso que tengo que trabajar. Quiero ir al partido con ustedes, pero no sé si puedo porque creo que tengo que trabajar. Practice it. You want to learn this. Look, when you watch a heavyweight title fight, like back in the day with Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, you know, he's my favorite, but a lot of great fighters. You see how fast those hands move, right? Those guys are on it. They practice. They go to the gym. They hit the bag all the time. You want to get good at something, you've got to go after it. You've got to want it, right? Hay que tener ganas. You got to have the desire. So practice this until you can say it comfortably, smoothly, and quickly. Quiero ir al... There you go, right? Quiero ir al partido con ustedes, pero no sé si puedo porque creo que tengo que trabajar. Quiero ir al partido con ustedes, pero no sé si puedo porque creo que tengo que trabajar. Break it down, the first part. Quiero ir al partido con ustedes, but I don't know if I can. Pero no sé si puedo, because I think that, porque creo que I have to work, tengo que trabajar. Quiero ir al partido con ustedes, pero no sé si puedo, porque creo que tengo que trabajar. Let's come down here. We would go to the concert, but it is raining. Iríamos al concierto, pero está lloviendo. Iríamos al concierto, pero está lloviendo. You see why it's so important in Spanish to learn how to do all the verbs in a close amount of time. You don't want to leave the future or ir plus infinitive like for 3-4 months down the road. You want to get on this stuff right away, because when we speak, look, there's a 3, a 0, a 4, and a 5, and a 1. They're all mixed together all the time in normal conversation. We would go, iríamos al concierto, pero está lloviendo. Hit it like a piano key. Iríamos al concierto, pero está lloviendo. I don't know her. Again, if I confused the two verbs earlier, this is conocer and this one is saber. I don't know her, no la conozco, pero I know that, sé que. No la conozco, pero sé que she comes here, viene aquí todos los días. No la conozco, pero sé que viene aquí todos los días. No la conozco, pero sé que viene aquí todos los días. No la conozco, pero sé que viene aquí todos los días. This reminds me of my knee rehab I'm doing right now. Total right knee replacement, it's a lot of work. Let me tell you that. And some of you have been through it, and I know that you know what the process is all about. I couldn't even lift my right leg up 4 inches to step up 4 inches. It was so painful. But now, gradually getting better and better and better. Now I'm able to go up the stairs normally, 1 foot after the other, going up the stairs. It's a little tough, but it gets easier every day. That's the important point I want to get across. Life is not always easy. Things aren't given to us on a platter. You got to work for it. And I know you want to work for it. This is a lesson into the hundreds. Goodness gracious, you've done 100 lessons already with Profesor Pablo, and I am so grateful, and I'm working hard to provide good, relevant content for you to help you in your Spanish language learning journey. All right, let's go down here. We did that one. You're not going to believe it. No lo vas a creer. Break it down, just like we have clusters. If this were all one board in one color, everything was black or everything was red ink and just a white background, you'd get lost. You would absolutely get lost. You can't get your bearing. And when I see professors in college, they use one color board marker and everything's all mixed up. It's like a bottle of jelly beans that broke and just went all over the place. It's a mess. We're using different colors, and we're using the concept of clusters. And now inside of a cluster, we're going to break the cluster down. Look, break it down. You are not going to believe it. No lo vas a creer. Hit it. No lo vas a creer. No lo vas a creer. No lo vas a creer. Say it like you mean it. No lo vas a creer. Pero. When I taught high school Spanish in my AP Advanced Placement Spanish classes, we have a lot of fun, but we learn. I tell you what, we learn. We have a lot of fun, we have a lot of content, and we learn. But when we got to the word pero, I would just pause, and I would just point to my index finger, and the kids knew that I was going to belt out the word pero, P-E-R-O. And the kids would start going, when I go like this, the kids would go, ah! We had fun, okay? We had fun. I had a current doctor now, knows that I'm doing this program, and he says, Pablo, please, for the sake of all your former students, do pero like you did it when you taught us back in high school, decades ago. So that's why I jump on that pero. I have a deep fondness for it because it reminds me of all those kids that had fun with it. Okay, here we go. You are not going to believe it, but no lo vas a creer, pero, no lo vas a creer, pero, I found what I was looking for. Encontré lo que estaba buscando. Encontré lo que estaba buscando. Break the sentences down into, take the cluster, the whole sentence, and break it down into meaningful parts that you can remember. For me, it's easy for me to say, you're not going to believe it. No lo vas a creer. Maybe you have to start off with, you're not going, no lo vas, no lo vas, no lo vas, and then put a creer. No lo vas a creer, pero encontré lo que estaba buscando. Híjole, no lo vas a creer, pero encontré lo que estaba buscando. Amigos, mamá, no lo vas a creer, pero encontré lo que estaba buscando. See that? These books aren't mine. And when you say these, once you get it right and you say it correctly, the repetition is the mother of learning. Repetition is the mother of learning. Okay. But you want to repeat what's correct. That's what's important, right? So once you get it correct, hammer it. No lo vas a creer, pero encontré lo que estaba buscando. Gracias a Dios. And there's your license plate. 30451. These books aren't mine. Estos libros no son míos. Like the whack-a-mole game, right, at the fair. Have you ever played that? The little gopher pops up, or the mole pops up. Estos libros no son míos. 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 Just like me walking up the stairs with my knee, I practice, I get better and better and better, I get faster at it, I get more confident, and I build strength. Well, if you say it a little bit faster, you're going to be able to handle Spanish and not talk in a real slow pace. Yo me llamo Pablo, soy profesor. Yo me llamo Pablo, soy profesor de español. You're going to get your rhythm up, get the beat going, just like when you get on the dance floor, right? Shake it out. Estos libros no son míos. Estos libros no son míos. Mom likes the flowers. Again, the verb gustar is the verb that gets hammered incorrectly more than any other verb in the Spanish language because people want to conjugate gustar with who does the liking like we do all other verbs in Spanish. But we have gustar, encantar, to love. It's done the same way. There are a few verbs that are done like gustar, not too many. But when you get those verbs, they agree with what is being liked or what is being loved. If I want to say, Mom loves the flowers, a mamá le encantan, the N factor, las flores. How's your language learning module doing? What we're doing right now is we're going back into that language learning module and we're picking out from all the different compartments. We're starting to put it together. Okay? I didn't go to work because I was sick. No fui, no fui. Remember I said a long time ago, fui, you come to school for a fui education. That's a joke. F-R-E-E, free, fui, fui. No, yo no fui. I didn't go, yo no fui. You know what else yo no fui means? What else yo no fui means? Yo no fui. It wasn't me. No fui yo with the verb ser. Ser and ir and the predator both fui, fuiste, fue, fuimos, fueron. Yo no fui. Yo no fui. It wasn't me. No fui yo. But here we're going, I didn't go to work. No fui al trabajo. Any of these phrases, to work, to the mountains, to the beach, to the ocean, to the store, to church, it's either al, la, los, or alas. We've got that down. We know how to bridge that gap. No fui al trabajo porque, one word, P-O-R-Q-U-E, porque I was sick. Estaba, E-S-T-A-B-A, enfermo, you ladies, enferma. All right, a lot of lesson, but go over these. Say them all the way through. And if there are lessons that you're weak on, go back to your Learn Spanish Fast with Profesor Pablo. Go to the link, and they're all listed there in order. If you go to the description for each lesson that we have, the YouTube link is there. Click on the link, and it'll start right at 1. You can go through every lesson, find the lesson that you're weak on, and listen to it again. Easy, okay? All right, I'm feeling a lot of progress. I'm very grateful for you guys being here with me. And I'm very humbled by all of this. And again, glad to help however I can with you learning Spanish, improving your speaking skills. All right? License plates, baby. License plates. Tengan un gran día. Hasta la próxima lección. Colorín colorado. Este cuento se ha acabado.